Hello and welcome to Palace Weekly. I am your host, Mark Francis. The week belonged to Prince William. In the most candid interview of his life, the future king laid out his vision for a modernized monarchy, opened up about 2024 being the hardest year I've ever had, and made clear he's not waiting for his father's crown to start calling the shots. But getting to that blockbuster moment required navigating family tensions that would make a soap opera writer blush, including explosive claims that Queen Camilla told Kate to move out of the way during Trump's visit, and Harry accusing palace sources of actively sabotaging his reconciliation attempts. Monday opened with a bombshell that threatened to overshadow everything else. Reports that Queen Camilla and Princess Catherine are at odds following a tense moment during Trump's state visit when cameras appeared to show Camilla motioning for Kate to move while the princess was speaking with Melania Trump. A source told Examiner the incident has stirred friction within the royal household, revealing deeper tensions about hierarchy and influence. Camilla has been extremely kind and supportive towards Kate throughout her recent struggles. But she's territorial by nature as well as prickly. It annoys her to no end that there's this narrative that the Waleses can do no wrong and that Kate can swan around whenever she feels like it, waving her magic wand and taking a self-appointed bow as the most popular member of the monarchy. According to insiders, Camilla has been reminding Kate that she's calling the shots for now, making clear it's not Kate or William's place to be throwing their weight around or barking orders. From Kate's perspective, Camilla's public display was unnecessary and embarrassing. The way she behaved in front of everyone, pushing Kate away and snapping, was uncalled for, and it raised William's hackles too. The tension reflects a deeper power struggle within the palace. Royal insider Deep Crown wrote in his Sunday Substack that Catherine is the glue in the factory and suggested that without her, the public would be left with a monarchy high on tradition but low on charm. He noted Kate now sits at the heart of three key relationships, with William, with the king, and with the queen, and that such influence doesn't go unnoticed. Another palace insider was more blunt. Alongside the respect Kate commands, there's also jealousy and unease. When one figure becomes so close to the king, it doesn't go unnoticed. If Monday revealed cracks in the family's public facade, Tuesday shattered any illusions about Harry's path back to royal life. The Duke issued a rare and pointed statement denying claims about the tone of his recent meeting with King Charles and suggesting unnamed sources are actively trying to sabotage reconciliation. Harry's spokesperson hit back at the Sun's reporting that described the meeting as formal and claimed Harry felt like an official visitor rather than a son. Recent reporting of the Duke's view of the tone of the meeting is categorically false. The quotes attributed to him are pure invention fed, one can only assume, by sources intent on sabotaging any reconciliation between father and son. The palace response was swift and telling. Sources described themselves as saddened and perplexed by the accusation, with courtiers noting that such public pronouncements only serve to make that endeavour more difficult. One insider told Shutterscoop, "Every time there's progress, he runs to the press and ruins it. He demands privacy but never shuts up. He needs attention like air." Tom Sykes in The Royalist didn't mince words about who might be behind the sabotage. Prince William has made it clear through his actions that he is opposed to reconciling with his brother, in stark contrast to the king. Having just won the Battle of Prince Andrew and seen him purged from royal life, some cynics might be wondering whether Prince William thinks he is on a roll. Speaking of Andrew, the week brought a confirmation of what many had suspected. The Duke and Duchess of York are effectively persona non grata at royal family events going forward. King Charles has reportedly decided to keep both Andrew and Sarah at arm's length, with sources saying they're not expected at Sandringham for Christmas, nor welcome at future family occasions. You can't sack someone for being your brother, one royal source told the Sunday Times, but this year, if the Duke and Duchess were both to be as honourable as last year, it would be very much for the best and the family would not be disappointed. The decision represents a significant shift for Charles, who had previously extended Christian forgiveness to his troubled brother, but with fresh scandals continuing to emerge, including allegations in Andrew Lowney's new book about a Thai orgy with more than 40 women, even the king's patience has limits. Tom Sykes argued this represents a fundamental power shift from Charles to William. This is not about who gets how many roast potatoes. It's about the structure, the anatomy, the sinews of the monarchy, who holds power, who makes decisions, who defines the institution's survival strategy. The answer is now clear: William. Sykes noted it was intriguing that the king climbed down after spending time with William in Scotland this week, adding that William stayed at Balmoral, 8 miles from Birkhall, where Charles and Camilla are based. He spent much of his time shooting grouse with friends. This was no cozy weekend of father-son bonding. It was a negotiation, and William emerged with his father's head. The decision creates a painful dilemma for Princesses Beatrice and Eugenie, who may feel it unfair of them to go where their parents aren't there. Royal commentator Phil Dampier noted, the king has a soft spot for both Beatrice and Eugenie and feels sorry for the situation they are in. So it's a real dilemma for him and one he could do without. While family dramas played out, Kate found herself facing criticism from an unexpected quarter. Rugby fans. The princess, patron of the Rugby Football Union, was notably absent from the Women's Rugby World Cup final on Saturday, a landmark moment when England's Red Roses clinched the world title with a commanding 33-13 victory over Canada. Fans took to social media to voice disappointment, with one writing, HRH Catherine should have been there today at the final. Earlier appearances don't negate not being there to support the team at the final. The frustration was compounded by the wider absence of senior royals and government figures. What made the absence more puzzling was the revelation that Kate had somehow found the time and energy to conjure up a magical day for her children with a private visit to the Harry Potter television series set. The family got an exclusive behind-the-scenes look at the new HBO production, with Prince Louis reportedly getting to ride the Hogwarts Express on a half-mile track built near Adelaide Cottage. It was so special, a set insider told the Daily Mail. Kate and the children met the young actors and the director on the set. There was only one night of filming there, so it really was a magical ticket. The optics weren't great, missing a historic sporting achievement to visit a TV set, and highlighted the ongoing debate about Kate's modified schedule and what exactly qualifies as essential royal duty. Back in California, Meghan was having her usual mixed week of lifestyle brand posts and professional setbacks. Monday brought news she'd been dropped from a Los Angeles gala where she was supposed to be honored for championing women and underserved communities. Her name no longer appeared on the official program for the rescheduled October 15th event. But Meghan soldiered on with her Instagram presence, posting videos of cozy armchairs with sleeping rescue beagles, handwritten messages about birds and bees, and a mahjong game night with friends. The post drew mixed reactions, with some followers praising the aesthetic while others called it cheap-looking and struggled to read her cursive on a caffeine rush handwriting. More seriously, industry sources told Radar Online that Meghan may be considering a return to acting after disappointing figures for With Love Meghan. Meghan put her heart into the show, but the ratings were not what she hoped for. That leaves her at a crossroads, one source explained, though another was brutally honest. The truth is, she was a terrible actress, and no one in Hollywood is going to want to cast her in big projects, as she is also seen as toxic. The week also brought the surreal news that Meghan's estranged father, Thomas Markle, was trapped on the 19th floor of a building in the Philippines following a powerful 6.7 magnitude earthquake. His daughter Samantha confirmed he can't walk and he is trapped, though there was no word on whether Meghan and Harry had offered assistance. More palace in just a moment. The family tensions, the Harry drama, the Meghan sideshow, was all a prologue to Saturday's main event, Prince William's extraordinarily candid interview with Eugene Levy for Apple TV Plus's The Reluctant Traveller. Filmed at Windsor Castle over what appeared to be a relaxed afternoon featuring electric scooters, pub visits, and walks with the family dog Orla, the conversation revealed a future king who's done waiting in the wings. William opened up with a mission statement that would have been unthinkable from a royal heir just a generation ago. I think it's safe to say that change is on my agenda, change for good, and I embrace that. I enjoy that change. I don't fear it. That's the bit that excites me, the idea of being able to bring some change. Not overly radical, but changes I think need to happen. The interview's most powerful moments came when William spoke about the year that had tested his family to its core. I'd say 2024 was the hardest year that I've ever had, he admitted, describing the challenge of trying to balance protecting the children. Catherine, my father, needs a bit of protection. It's important that my family feels protected, and he has the space to process a lot of stuff that's gone on last year, and that was tricky trying to do that and keep doing the job. His vulnerability was striking. We've been very lucky. We haven't had many illnesses in the family for a very long time. My grandparents lived until they were in their high 90s, so we've been very lucky as a family. But when you suddenly realize that the metaphorical rug can be pulled from under your feet quite quick at any point, when it does happen to you, then yeah, it takes you into some pretty not great places. When asked what overwhelms him, William was brutally honest. Stuff to do with the family overwhelms me quite a bit. Worry or stress around the family side of things does overwhelm me quite a bit. When it's to do with family and things like that, then that's where I start getting a bit overwhelmed, as I think most people would, because it's more personal, it's more about feeling, it's more about upsetting the rhythm. Perhaps most revealing was William's frank discussion of how his parents' divorce shaped his approach to family life. You have to have that warmth, that feeling of safety, security, love. That all has to be there, and that was certainly part of my childhood. My parents got divorced at 8, so that lasted a short period of time. But you take that and you learn from it, and you try to make sure you don't do the same mistakes as your parents. The ordinary rhythm he and Kate have created for their children stands in stark contrast to his own childhood. School pickups and drop-offs, family dinners without phones. We sit and chat, it's really important. Trampolines and netball and ballet lessons. If you don't start the children off now with a happy, healthy, stable home, I feel you're setting them up for a bit of a hard time and a fall. William was equally clear about the lessons learned from watching his parents' relationship destroyed by media intrusion. Growing up, I saw that with my parents. The media was so insatiable back then. They were in everything, literally everywhere. And if you let that creep in, the damage it can do to your family life is something that I vowed would never happen to my family. His approach represents a careful, calibrated balance. I understand in my role there is interest. You have to work with the media, so you have to have a grown-up sort of situation with it as well. It's about knowing where the line is and what you're willing to put up with. On his vision for the future, William was both respectful of tradition and unafraid to question it. If you're not careful, history can be a real weight and an anchor around you, and you can feel suffocated by it and restricted by it too much. I want to question things more. I think it's very important that tradition stays, and tradition has a huge part in all of this. But there's also points where you look at tradition and go, is that still fit for purpose today? He's already thinking about how to make his own coronation relevant. He is really thinking, how do we make this coronation feel more relevant in the future? He is mindful of the fact that in 20 years' time, or whenever his time comes, how can the coronation be modern, but also unifying to the nation and the Commonwealth? And looking even further ahead to Prince George's future, William was protective. I want to create a world in which my son is proud of what we do, a world and a job that actually does impact people's lives for the better, that is caveated with, I hope we don't go back to some of the practices in the past that Harry and I had to grow up in, and I'll do everything I can to make sure we don't regress in that situation. Royal insider Deep Crown captured what made the interview so significant. When I saw William in conversation with Eugene Levy, I was reminded immediately of Harry's preferred style, the casual setting, the confessional tone, the sprinkling of celebrity. Yet the contrast could not be clearer. Harry's interviews have too often been consumed by grievance, whereas William's words carried intention. He was not settling scores, he was outlining the monarch he means to become. Indeed, William appears to have learned from his brother's missteps while adopting the authentic, personal communication style that modern audiences demand. Where Harry looks backward with resentment, William looks forward with purpose. Where Harry looks backward with resentment, William looks forward with purpose. Where Harry demands change through destruction, William promises evolution through reform. Palace Intrigue will be right back. Amid the major dramas, other royal news continued apace. Princess Anne made an unannounced visit to Ukraine, laying a toy bear at a memorial for children killed in the conflict and meeting with President Zelensky. Luxembourg saw Grand Duke Henri abdicate after 25 years, passing the throne to his son Guillaume in a modern ceremony that symbolized continuity and renewal. And in a delightfully mundane moment, King Charles hosted a cow named Poppy at Clarence House, laughing as the heritage bovine knocked over furniture and relieved herself on the garden pathway. "Don't push it back into my boxed head," she told handlers good-naturedly. Sometimes even kings just need a laugh. As October begins, the landscape of the British monarchy has shifted dramatically. William is no longer simply waiting his turn. He's actively shaping the institution he'll one day lead. His interview didn't just reveal a more personal side. It announced the arrival of a future king who's done deferring to his elders on matters of survival and relevance. Charles, weakened by illness and increasingly outmaneuvered by his heir, appears to be ceding ground on multiple fronts. The Andrew banishment, the Harry stalemate, even the apparent tensions between Camilla and Kate all point to a monarchy in transition, with power flowing inexorably toward the next generation. Harry, meanwhile, remains trapped in a cycle of his own making, demanding reconciliation while publicly accusing his family of sabotage, wanting privacy while craving attention, seeking acceptance while refusing to stop talking. Each statement, each accusation pushes him further from the family he claims to want back. And Kate, for better or worse, has become the monarchy's secret weapon, though perhaps not so secret anymore. Her influence with both Charles and William, her public popularity, and her carefully managed image make her indispensable to the institution's future. Whether that creates tension with Camilla or anyone else may matter less than the simple fact that the monarchy needs her more than she needs them. The week began with questions about palace tensions and ended with William's vision of the future. In between, we got a masterclass in royal politics, family dysfunction, and the messy reality of an ancient institution trying to survive in a modern world. If this is what William's warm-up act looks like, his reign promises to be fascinating, assuming, of course, there's still a monarchy left to inherit by the time his father's done navigating all these family minefields. And there you have it. If you'd like to email us, our address is thepalaceintrigue@gmail.com. Please follow us on Spotify, Apple, or the app of your choice. Check us out on Facebook. Just search for Palace Intrigue in Facebook pages or Facebook groups. And don't forget, Sunday is our big day. There's a lot of shows out, including this one, Palace Weekly. We have Palace Intrigue, the daily episode. We have Deep Crown. We have our 2 new series, Crown and Controversy and Crown and Controversy Norway. And coming soon, even another new series we will tell you about shortly. And remember, you can get all of these shows, all of these series, plus hundreds, if not thousands, of other episodes from Calaroga Shark Media by being a subscriber. You get them commercial free. You get them in advance. There's a lot of perks there. Check it out, $5 a month. And you can hit that button up there on Apple that says Listen Uninterrupted. And we really appreciate your support. I'm Mark Francis. My thanks to John McDermott. This is Palace Weekly. Good times.